Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are at downtown Portland, Southwest 10th and Main Street, and there is the old Freemason Lodge, which George Washington was a member of the Freemasons. Who else? I think Harry Truman, a lot of other people. That is the back of the art museum. That they're going to add that to the art museum. There's the art museum down there. Let's see if we can. You can just barely see the art museum. Uh, so that's a kind of an old-looking building, but they're really fixing it up there. Excuse me a moment. Over there, we got some office buildings. It's a nice little mural. And there's a couple nice tall buildings. And so let's walk around a little bit down here and see what we got. Okay, we got some tents over here. They supposedly outlawed tents a couple months ago, but doesn't look like it's being enforced very much. I don't want to point at it right now. Let's walk down here to the park. There's a nice little park. There's a apartment building, and up there you can see some more graffiti. They climb up on the wall on top of the roof and put the graffiti. They bend over, risk their lives to give us some graffiti. Actually, that graffiti don't look that bad. There was some other graffiti across from the library last year that was huge. It was there for about a year. Finally, they got rid of it after a year. Let's see what we got over here. There is it used to be the YWCA, no, the YMWA or whatever it was. That's where the they have a women shelter there. And there's a couple nice churches down there. I don't know if you can see them. So let's look at the park. Let's go down. Here's this park. It's called the South Park Blocks. And it's a nice day today. And it's not, my allergies aren't affected yet because not until June do my allergies get to me. But there's Portland Art Museum. That's once again, that's the addition. They really have some nice churches down here. I understand Portland is one of the least churched areas in the country. I think I read somewhere it was the most least church area. But they do have churches down here, and I do see some of them are pretty crowded. Okay, this park is one thing they got about Portland is they got some green out here. And relaxing little park here. They used to have some nice statues down here that they tore all to hell during the riots they had a couple years ago, during the George Floyd riots. They had a nice little statue of Abraham Lincoln that was right here. But as you can see, there is no Lincoln. They tore it all to hell. There's a group of people down here. They're what's the word? They're anarchists, and they love to tear crap apart. And every time there's some type of a social incident happen, they come down here and they tear it apart. And we got a new district attorney in. He might actually make them do some jail time. There's the another arts building. I can't think of the name of it. There's Hatfield Hall. Hatfield was a famous senator. There's a beautiful church. They really was serious about churches back 100 years ago. Like it's all fenced in. Holy mackerel. I wonder if that's real brick there. And there's the pride flag. Beautiful little church. Must have been a nice little place down here. 100 years ago, you drive a horse down here. You'll see, it was established in 1851, First Congregational Church. 1851. That thing cost a few bucks, you see. Great music. Portland Baroque Orchestra. Let's go down here. Portlanders do love their dogs. There's a lot of people have dogs down here, although I don't see that many today. See, there's the old Freemason building. Quite a imposing building. And there's the old art museum. That's the original art museum. Artwork in process, it says. It says work in process, and then in parentheses it says artwork in process. And there's the new construction where they're joining the Freemason building with the old art museum. Old art museum is a pretty boring building. And once again, there's the old Freemason building they're adding to it. So I know a couple months ago they had some famous artworks in there. They had Monet and Gauguin or somebody in there, and I think every first Thursday or first Tuesday of the month you can get in there free. So I'll have to check it out sometime. Now let's thing. There's the Oregon Historical Society. I've never been in there. I'll have to check that out. Up here, we're going to, there it is. Up here, we get to see the base of an old statue they tore to hell during the riots. It's really a shame. Theodore Roosevelt, Rough Rider. Yeah, statue got roughed up pretty good. Oh, I like that building there. I'll have to get a picture of the front of that where there's a cool older building right next to it. Shows the old and the young. Psychedelic rock posters and fashions of the 1960s. I'd like to see that. They definitely have some psychedelic stuff in the 60s. Another church. Looks like a bell tower up there. I guess they put soldiers up there. And, some more condos. Where do I want to go? Let's go down here by Safeway. There's the St. James building, studios, and I was thinking about moving in there about 15 years ago when they first built it. There's another little church. There's another condominium. I remember when they built that thing, it rained like for a year straight. Surprised they could get the cement to dry in that thing. It's probably the wettest year in Portland's history, I think, which is pretty wet. We're coming up to 10th and Jefferson.